My name is Christine Janis.
And what years were you here, Christine?
M.Div 96, S.T.M 99.
When you were looking at grad schools, why did you pick YDS?
Good question. To be close to home, New York.
Oh, and if you can, answer her question in a complete sentence.
Oh dear.
if
To be
possible.
close to home,
Oh,
which
so-
was New York.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
And because my bishop sent me here.
That's good. What did you find most unexpected about YDS when you got here?
Unexpected was how old I was and how many young students were needing care. Yeah, that's what it was. And the most unexpected was how amazing the faculty was, because some of the old timers were still here. That was a blessing.
About what percentage of your class were women?
I don't know, I hang around mostly with women, so I can't tell you the percentage.
What about the student body? How many were women?
I think we were in the majority. Yeah, I think we were, maybe wrong.
Okay. So you didn't experience YDS as a male-dominated environment at all?
Oh, this was my freedom place, because my diocese did not believe in the ordination of women, so this was where I came for freedom. And then I'd have to go home on weekends to serve in a parish in a time warp, where women weren't supposed to be up there.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, the previous bishop of Long Island had said over his dead body would a woman be priested. So it was a very bizarre thing to be in the 90s, living back where other people were in the 60s. Yeah.
Were there women role models back among the faculty or staff here?
Oh, Margaret Farley. Oh. And my classmates, because there were quite a few of us that were second career people. So that was really fascinating.
That's good. I know that the church was ordaining women by then, but you talked about your bishop being difficult about it.
Well, he believed in it, but his people did not.
Oh.
Yeah, he was on the front lines for a time warp.
Quick thing.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
forget
sorry.
so Paige is not mic'd.
Oh,
So the viewers of this won't hear her questions.
okay,
So your answers should be in complete sentences.
okay. So I'll flip back to the 1890s now, which is my
Okay.
S.T.M work. So my S.T.M work was about the 1890s, primarily because I had been in this time warp where women weren't allowed to be ordained yet. So I thought, let me go back to a time when no one was ordained, and what were they doing? So I found, to my surprise, that faculty wives of Yale Divinity faculty members were doing amazing things. So having an office during my S.T.M times in Frank Chamberlain Porter's, the Porter dorm, which were their offices, I thought one day when I have time I'll find out about this man, and found out in living in New Haven that his wife was, as Dean Keck just said to me 6 months ago, a force. And this force of a woman was, grew up on Trumbull Street, was the daughter of a faculty member, was at Wellesley College when her dad went on sabbatical and he needed an assistant, so she went off to Europe, came back as a writer, and began to organize the women of New Haven in good works. So she was an author, and she helped start the first settlement house and ran the English-speaking Mothers Club for 25 years, and always incorporated Yale Divinity students in the work of the Lowell House. So that's who I think we need to be looking to today, is Delia Lyman Porter, great saint of New Haven.
How did your time here at YDS impact your ministry, your work?
I think that's why I'm staying in the 1890s, because we were in conflict back then. So some of us stepped forward saying the Divinity School was an important place to keep going. It was difficult in terms of our futures. So
Okay. What else do you want to share with us?
I think I want to share that when we walk these grounds, when we go downtown and walk where the Divinity School was originally, that there are men and women that have helped not only build their denominations, but build the nation and the world. So that when I walk downtown, sometimes it's with the city directory, and I see the names of people who have come here and gone off and done great things around the world. And to be able to be back, especially with the 150-50, is to understand that 150 years ago, maybe it was the wife of the head of the art department that was helping to create a space where women could come to the art department from New Haven and receive degrees. And from there, the Divinity School caught on. But these women of New Haven were always communicating with each other. Even though we belonged to different churches around the Greater Green, we were doing philanthropic works together and sharing ideas. So the men needed to be discussing the fine points of theology, but the women were sort of getting back to Isaiah 11 or Matthew and saying, what is God commanding us to do? And the women were always gathering together and forming groups and helping people. So that's why I stay in New Haven. It has a tremendous foundation for good works.
Is there a story you'd like to tell us about your time here that just stands out?
Not really. Well, from our time here, for many of us, we see the new buildings and the new way of looking at things, and gee whiz, the entire new, what is it called in terms of the new green buildings?
The Living Village.
The Living Village. It is so exciting. And that I take hope that if we hadn't fought to keep the Divinity School up here, someone tells me today, you should feel proud of that because now we'll have the Green Village. So
Great.
that's all I have to say. God is good.
Thank you, Christine. I appreciate this. This
Thank
was
you.
perfect.
Thanks.